Hey, what's going on YouTube? Raj here. Today I'm going to be doing a video in the luxury fragrance series, a series on my channel where I tackle fragrances at the luxury side of the market. Today's one is going to be from the house of Mona de Orio, and it is Vanille, the eau de parfum, released in 2011. This fragrance comes in one size, 100 ml, and will cost you £125. Or $230 US. In terms of the notes, you are getting in the top bitter orange, rum absolute, Petitgrain. In the middle of this fragrance there is clove, vanilla, Tolu, Gaiac wood and Vetiver, and in the base sandalwood, Ylang-Ylang, Tonka bean, leather, musk and amber. So basically this fragrance was inspired by cargo ships transporting spices and rum and those type of items across the seas. A few of the different fragrances I've come across have actually taken inspiration from that, and this vanilla it's an interpretation of a vanilla. It's not your traditional vanilla, which can be quite sweet, quite gourmand-like, quite dessert-like. It's not like that at all. This is a darker interpretation, and one that I actually prefer to a lot of other vanilla-based fragrances out there. So, in the top of this fragrance, from the initial couple of hours or few moments of the fragrance after you spray it, I get a dark rum cocktail vibe from here. The rum is pretty strong, quite intense actually, but it doesn't dominate. It's actually coupled quite nicely with, again, a very strong note, and quite surprisingly a quite strong orange note, but not a fresh citrus. Don't think this is a fresh fragrance in any way, shape or form. I get like an orange peel which has been maybe burnt around the edges and then dropped into maybe a glass of rum, like a rum cocktail, which has also been infused with cloves and maybe some cinnamon. The spice bit of this fragrance actually comes on a little bit later, but the top of this fragrance is all about a boozy rum with this quite dark orange actually. It's quite interesting. A nice take on a citrus note actually. What else accompanies this fragrance and makes it a really powerful opening is a leather note. Leather is actually in the base of this fragrance. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's in the base of this fragrance, but I get it from the start. Mona de Orio has another fragrance called Cuir, which means leather, where that's a much more powerful in-your-face leather, and it does remind me a little bit of that, but slightly more toned down. And at this point, I don't pick up any vanilla at all. I've noticed in a few Mona de Orio fragrances, like Vetiver and a few others, that the name of the fragrance is not misleading, like in Le Labo, but it's not necessarily the focal point of the fragrance. Vanilla does come on later on in the fragrance, and it really comes on in the heart of this fragrance, maybe about after an hour or so. And I said, this isn't a sweet fragrance in the sense of a gourmand, in your traditional gourmand fragrance. This is a vanilla it is sweet, but it's also slightly spicy as well. Quite a raw vanilla bean almost, and it's joined in there by something very earthy and almost like a damp soil kind of scent. I know that sounds a little bit off-putting, but it's actually pretty good. I think it's a mixture of maybe the musk starting to come through in the vetiver, which can be quite smoky, and all of that combining with the leather, which is starting to tone down slightly, creating this very, very smoky, leathery vetiver scent in the heart of this fragrance, with a vanilla which just surrounds all of that. And it's really good. It's a great combination of notes. This is an interpretation of vanilla, and I really like what Mona de Orio has done here. As the fragrance starts to develop into the base, the vanilla is still there, and it remains there all the way to the end of this fragrance. It's sweetened up a little bit more by the Tonka bean, but the Tonka bean is not really that noticeable for me. What I really get here is the woody notes starting to shine through. I know there's sandalwood and Gaiac wood also, but really what I get is a creamy sandalwood mixed in with the vanilla, and it makes it an overall a really interesting fragrance. Almost like I've written down like a gingerbread cookie. It kind of reminds me of 5 o'clock au gingembre by Serge Luton. To a certain extent, you know, you've got this. Vanilla often conjures up images of baking, and that's kind of what I get here, like a gingerbread vanilla cookie kind of thing, sprinkled with a bit of clove. Not something I want to eat, but that is basically what I'm smelling here. And overall, this scent is great. I can't deny that this scent is really good, but there are a couple of problems for me with this fragrance. This is an eau de parfum, and it does last on me. I can get up to 8 hours, maybe a couple of hours more, but it's not as loud as I want it to be. I don't really demand that each and every fragrance be loud, but I kind of want more with this fragrance. It lasts, but becomes a skin scent maybe a little bit too quickly. I still enjoy the dry down. The opening and mid of this fragrance is what I enjoy the most, but I'm just left wanting a little bit more. It kind of reminds me of, you know, like Usain Bolt when he's doing his 100-meter, 200-meter sprint. You know how sometimes he slows down towards the end, and he still wins the race, but you think he could have pushed on and maybe broken the record, or you know, something like that. And I kind of want this fragrance to just be, I want it to last a little bit longer. I want the vanilla maybe to be stronger, maybe some sandalwood or the Gaiac wood could have been stronger, just to make that base last a little bit longer. And there's musk in this fragrance, and also amber in the base, but I don't really pick it up, to be honest, and it leaves me feeling slightly disappointed. But that really is a minor criticism, to be honest. I think this fragrance is really good. It's probably, I wouldn't say the best in her line, because I think Queer and maybe her Oud fragrance are the best in her line, but you know, it's a great interpretation, great quality ingredients used throughout. Just checking, I've picked up all the points here. Yeah, it starts to become a skin scent, decent longevity, not the best projection, to be honest, on me. And you know, if you're a person who likes a fragrance to project and be noticed by other people, you may feel a little bit disappointed with this fragrance. Obviously, I'm speaking from my own experience, how it performed on my skin. Your mileage may vary, but that's the experience I had. So for me, it's all about the scent. That's all I really care about. Other things like longevity, probably longevity and scent is what I think I care about the most. And so I don't really mind that the projection on me isn't that good, because the scent is actually pretty damn special. So overall, I give this a rating of 8.5. It's not a 9, it's not a 10, simply because of the slight performance issues which I mentioned earlier. But you know, that's just personal preference, to be honest, and that could just be my skin. So overall, yeah, Mona de Orio's Vanille, I give this a rating of 8.5. It's a really special fragrance. Really enjoy wearing this fragrance, and I definitely recommend you explore not only this one but the rest of the line. I was recently on her website, and I read that there's a few more fragrances to be released this year. She had a signature range. This is the Le Nombre d'Or range, which means the golden signature, or golden, the golden number, or the golden ratio. But she also has a signature range, and I think there's a couple more fragrances which are going to be released this year, so look out for those. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. I've done a luxury fragrance series video here. I'll probably want to do an affordable fragrance series. I might be looking at Burberry for men. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, pretty soon, and a couple more discussion based videos. And I also want to take a look at some samples that were sent to me from subscribers or fellow reviewers. I've actually been wearing a few more samples this year, and I want to make it a point of getting through all of my samples, and I've got quite a few. So if you've sent me a sample and I've said to you that I'm going to video it and give you my impressions, I will be doing it. I just don't know when. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.